Hey!
Yeah.
Fancy seeing you guys here. It's been a while. Did you miss us? We missed you. We did. I would look out my window and just talk to people passing by. And that was when the police arrived. But anyways, welcome back to the Mercenaries of Mischief channel with an all-new show that we are calling Last Light. I, of course, am your benevolent dungeon master, Puck, and I am joined today by these various faces that you might find some old, some new. And I will now introduce them in no particular order, just to familiarize you with everybody who's here. Starting with a gentleman who is just here to ask a few questions, Mr. Trafer Grok, joining us today.
Nope, that didn't work right. I got a whole new setup here. There we go.
Nailed it.
Whole new production setup.
Thank you so much, Trafer. Also joining us today, our illustrious team leader and diplomat extraordinaire, Miss Dulcinea. Thank you so much. Here too. Oh wait, I had it up and then I forgot it. Okay, here. Gaslight. What? Something girl boss. It's V. Damn it! I had it, but I forgot the third one.
Gatekeep.
Gatekeep. She's here to gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss. It's
I'm gonna gatekeep, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss from you.
Excellent. That's great. It'll be very easy. I apparently can't get it right.
You're doing amazing.
Also joining us, noted child prodigy, from whom we all expect big things, master archaeologist Chea is here as well.
And I fully expect a shirt with that phrase. Thank you very much.
I shall do my best, but I am a terrible sewer. Last but not least, joining us, everyone's favorite bush goblin and master of volcanic drakes, Marric, joining us.
Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, no,
well.
Yeah, bush goblin. I feel like that may be a colloquial term that I might not be comfortable with.
Look,
yeah, just don't start walking around calling me bush goblin, okay?
Look, you're a ranger and a goblin.
It's
I understand the logistics of it. I completely understand that.
All right. Well, look, we'll work out. You prepare to acquire.
Only a bush goblin can call a bush goblin a bush goblin.
Prepare to acquire a series of nicknames as the show goes on. Now, audience, my dear audience, whom I love like children, you might be noticing that we have small coins next to all of our players here, right underneath their beautifully appointed art. Now, currently, those represent our characters' supplies of beautiful boons, and they are all empty at the moment. Now, they can get more of those coins from you, the audience, if you so desire, if you will it so, and then turn those coins in for re-rolls or cool story moments or just things that they can do to affect the game, various amounts. They'll be able to turn those in, redeem them to make life better. When I make life so much worse as a dungeon master. So, if you want to fill those coin blocks, it's exclamation point tips. Nightbot will help you out on that one. But that's how it's all set up.
I'm gonna get that up. I'm gonna get that link up in the overlay too. There's a bit.ly. Hey, if you've been here before or if you're new here, hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm the producer. Everything that you see on the screen is getting fucked up. That's my fault. We're doing a whole new system on how we kind of do the layout and the production and stuff. So bear with me. It's only gonna get better.
Those who have been with us a while know that every time we take a break, we strive to make things better for you. Really, is what we do here. But anyways. Are you guys ready to play D&D? Let's play D&D together.
That sounds like fun.
It does sound like fun. All right, let's settle into it, shall we? Permit me a moment to set the scene. And this is where the Dungeon Master just talks for a while. After years of war, the 4 great empires have settled on an uneasy peace. Calagarn, Saskatoon, Melangar, and Remvali are all competing to settle in a newly discovered continent known as the Treasured Expanse. This place is a beautiful, lush wilderness full of natural resources and fertile land, but is not without its own dangers. And truly, in the first year of settlement, it was realized that this Treasured Expanse has some harsh, terrible winters. And to exasperate the situation even further, during the first winter, an event that was hitherto known as the Tragedy of First Winter, everyone who was north of flowing water vanished. Since then, the residents of the Treasured Expanse, settlers, explorers, and adventurers alike, have all known not to head north of flowing water when the first day of winter comes. These harsh winters were something that everyone had to contend with, and over time, they came to call the first day of winter Last Light, in reference to the deep darkness and short days that would set in thereafter. Groups lined up along flowing waters on the northern shore, or the southern shores, to ensure that everyone was appropriately warned when last light was coming. Most recently, the people who govern these lands have decided that it must be explored further. No one has found the northeastern coast of the Treasured Expanse, and truly the settled area represents but a small portion of the actual land available. So, the Duchess Akala Hisrali has put together a team that is designed to be the forerunner in a contest to discover this northeastern shore. That team is comprised of these fine adventurers here, led by Lady Dulcinea. And they have been set out on their journey to discover this northeastern passage. But other adventurers will be joining them soon. They've been given a head start. And the announcement, the official announcement for this adventure, this contest, is set to happen in 2 weeks. We join our team 3 days into their adventure, having left the coast of the Treasured Expanse, and journey towards the first major city, known as Light's Watch. They are riding in their cart along the road, along the forest line between the forest and the river, heading up to this extended settlement town that has these log fortification walls along the outside and an enormous gate with a couple towers. And at the center of everything, beyond the walls, you see an enormous bell tower, and within the bell tower, a beacon that is to be lit whenever the first signs of the first day of last light arrive. Our party, in their cart, approaches the gate. And you are now free to move about the cabin, as the guards pop their heads over the fortifications and the towers and look down at you all. Who approaches?
It's Lady Dulcinea. We've been set by the Duchess Akala, and these are my companions.
And the gentleman behind the gate hunkers down a little bit and discusses with some other folks behind him, and then pops his head back up. All right, we are expecting you. Please come in. There are card houses. We prefer not to have wild animals traipsing about the inner parts of town. No offense, but you may have to stable your animal and cart.
Thank you very much. We will head that way. And then I turn to the rest of the group, and we have a 2-week head start. Do not mention the contest. Do not tip our hand. No one else knows that we have a lead. So just, we're passing through. We're just, casual exploring. No contest.
Understood.
All right. And the great gates shake and rattle as they are pushed open, and muddy, gravel-covered streets splay out before you. In a sprawling frontier town, various houses made out of cut pieces of wood with the occasional brick and plaster building mixed in. The entire town of Light's Watch seems to be perpetually under construction, with large scaffolding constructs all over the place, working on new buildings and improving old buildings. All of it centered around what appears to be a large brick town hall that supports the massive bell tower and beacon. There we go. Lost my words. The beacon and the bell tower at the center of town. The town is quite busy at the moment, and as you get through the gates, you can tell that most people are moving towards the northern ends of town, where the docks are, and there are a number of river boats that take on passengers and goods, offloading and onloading frequently as they move up and down the river and through town. And you guys are able to enter the town very easily with your flaming Drake-pulled cart.
Yeah! Come on, mate.
I will say that Chea, in the cart, all of a sudden you do see there's a golden colored spectral hand that comes out, holding her mason's tools within it on the palm, and she's taking whatever she needs to kind of dust off the chunk of the expanse steel that she had on her person, and she's just kind of messing around with it and examining it. Just that's what she's doing in the back, while she totally didn't even pay attention to the fact that Dulcinea hadn't even mentioned a contest or not to say anything about the contest. I just want that noted.
Very well.
Great start. Love this group. Totally not gonna die. My reputation is ruined already.
You're gonna be just fine.
So, Chea, I've been meaning to ask, does that stuff, usually find it like kind of scattered around like that, or is it like you gotta mine it out, like you find big veins like they do with gold and whatnot?
Well, it all depends. I mean, my mother, of course, she was doing a dig, and that's how she originally found the expanse steel. And I mean, along our journey, that's how I found this little piece. So it really just depends on your journey and whether or not you're digging or you see something shiny like I did, and I decided to go and see what it was. So I say nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Right on. All right. So I'm just trying to, should I keep a
Pointer,
lookout for it?
can you bring the tools closer? You know better than that. Thank you.
I have questions about that too. But we'll get to
What
that
questions are you referring to? More about the expanse steel and its components?
No, your spectral hand there.
Oh, Pointer.
Yeah. Is that like a familiar or like a pet or something?
Well, not exactly. I do have a very unique relationship with my said mage hand. It usually, let's just say, not a lot of people refer to their hand by name like I do, but I don't know. I feel like we have bonded on all of the different sites that I've worked on with it, so I felt it deserved a proper name. Don't you think?
I mean, yeah, sure. It's just weird that it responds to it, because normally people, it's like an extension of themselves, right? So it's kind of like another hand.
Does yours not respond to you when you ask it a question or to do something?
My what?
Your hand.
I don't talk to my hands. They're just
one of the magical kind, not your physical.
Oh, I don't have any of that.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I tried. I've studied magic in an academic sense, but for whatever reason, I don't know, I just can't ever seem to do it,
Well, I always believe that with enough knowledge, anything is possible. So maybe along the way, we should try to see if we can find some books on magics and see what happens. You never know. It could be looking deep inside of you.
I appreciate it. But you know, like, I've read lots of books on magic. You know, like I kind of grew up in a library, a magical one. So, yeah, it's not for
A library?
trying or everything. Yeah, at the Reliquary Society, there's a lot of, you know, tomes and.
Oh, yes, I have been there several times. I'm sure, but I don't remember seeing you around. But maybe I'm always focused, you know, as one should be.
The helmets kind of have that thing, so it covers most of the. I was mostly a guard, but if like while I was in there, most of the time, so you probably wouldn't have noticed. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they do often say that my nose is always stuck in some sort of book or notebook, or, you know, I'm sure you already have guessed.
Well, people seem to just not notice guards most of the time too. That's the thing, like. You know, a guard, especially when the helmet covers part of your face. I did meet your mom a couple times though. At like.
Yes, everyone has at some point.
Yeah. Real nice lady. Tried to tip me, which was kind of weird because I was a guard, so I don't know if things are kind of different over in Caligarn. I heard it's more just like, yeah, you know, like fucking give people gold all the time so that they like you, kind of a thing.
Well, is that what you think happens in Caligarn?
I mean, that's what I've heard. I've heard they tip really well in Caligarn. You know, from various like porters and travelers who come through.
Well, they are very, very concerned with coin, how to make it, how to get it, in any way possible. As we know, we're very aware that they are very obsessed with coin.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, Saskatoon, it's more like. Do your job because it's your job, and we'll pay you to do your job. Tipping isn't as common.
And with that, your guys' cart arrives at the stabling center, and a hand runs up. Are you from the Dulcinea party?
Yes, hi, Dulcinea. Party.
What's it to you, buddy?
5. Merric, be nice to them.
Oh, I was instructed to give the Dulcinea party free boarding by the governor.
See, Merric, that's what it is to us.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I do.
That's very kind of you. Who's covering that tab, if I may ask?
Well, the governor owns the stables, so the governor, I suppose.
Oh, lovely. Is he around?
Probably. He doesn't like to show his face in public too often. If he wants to speak with you, odds are he'll probably track you down.
All right, well, board is appreciated. Hopefully we won't be here too long, and if we see him, great. If not, please give him our regards and thank him for the stable.
Of course. Don't worry, he'll probably find you.
Great.
That's not usual, right? Like, among, you know, people, you don't just track down and hunt people that you're doing favors for.
It's a bit unusual. The diplomats do tend to want to, you know, pomp and circumstance, be out front and center, showy. It is kind of unusual that he's not here to meet us.
Well, why don't we just, like, go to wherever... Where can we find him? Does he have an office, or did he just work out of his house, or what?
The governor's address is an undisclosed location.
Oh.
I don't know if you are aware, my team, but he is known for being very, very cautious around everyone. And I mean everyone.
Well, then, I suppose if he needs to meet us, then he will arrange that himself.
Yeah, or you could always go to undisclosed location.
What?
Where?
His house, undisclosed location.
Wait, well, so...
Is the location undisclosed, or is it called that?
I don't follow. The name. Undisclosed. It's called that, yeah.
Oh, it's a title.
Oh.
Yeah, undisclosed location.
That's not how, that's not what that word means, but, alright.
Is it... Could you disclose it to us where it is on a map?
Oh, it's the biggest house in town. You can't miss it.
That doesn't sound very undisclosed. I say like quietly to the group.
That's the opposite of undisclosed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, especially if literally everyone in town knows that it's the biggest house.
All right.
Shall we
Well,
venture forth?
Yes.
I'm gonna put Marric away. Just yeah, I'm gonna hop off. And Marric is quite a short goblin, wearing a wide brim hat, big kind of like bushman's coat and pants and stuff. He kind of has like lots of pockets for all the little bits and pieces as he starts to unhitch the saddle straps for Meat, his large volcanic wyvern. And I'm gonna put Meat in with the stables and park up the wagon where it needs to be housed.
All right. So they happily accept you guys in, and then you're free to move about the city. The city itself has kind of like a muddy, gravel-covered street in the center. There are many ridges, as it's been a bit of a wet summer. So there's a lot of kind of muddy areas. But they do have these kind of wooden gangplanks along the edges to allow you to walk along and stay out of it. A kind of makeshift sidewalk. And a couple of them extend across the street a little bit recessed on a ridge in order for carts to pass over, but also allow people not get their nice boots stuck in the mud.
Before we leave, I'll tip the stable hand a couple bronze pieces on the down low.
Thank you kindly, miss.
Of course, yeah, don't mention it. Don't mention
Deeply appreciated. It is expensive out here in the Expanse sometimes.
I'm sure.
All right.
Where can we get a drink?
Oh, there's a really nice tavern up near the center of town. It's called the Lonely Beacon.
Lonely Beacon. All right. Cool. I guess we'll just go there. And I could use a drink.
I do have a question, Dungeon Master.
Sure.
Are the ley lines mapped? One on the home continent and two here.
On the home continent,
Or are they too
yes.
shifty?
Here they're being analyzed. They haven't been fully discovered. There are a few that converge in the main settlement area. So at Point Prometheus and at Pride's Reach. But the rest are still being mapped out. And part of that is the shortage of capable spellcasters willing to make the trip and stay and do the work in the harsh wilderness.
All right. Cool. No, just checking on that.
All right.
So we're going to this Lonely Beacon, yes?
I'm going. I need a drink.
Well, I am only wondering if it's the same thing as the undisclosed location, where it's actually not what it's named after.
Oh, no,
so
I'm
it's not
pretty sure-
actually a beacon, but it's actually darkness, and it's actually filled with lots of people.
I think that is a reasonable assumption. It would be filled with lots of people.
Yeah, I'm pretty
We
sure it's a
can
tavern
test
or a pub.
that hypothesis and get a drink at the same time, and I'm gonna just start walking down the street towards the tavern.
Oh, I thought we were already walking.
Just
I'm
hanging
gonna
out
walk
outside the stables.
faster.
So you guys make your way to the Lonely Beacon, and when you arrive inside, you can see it's kind of a mixed clientele. There are a couple rangers, some various merchants, and a couple groups that appear to be fresh settlers. You can usually pick them out. They tend to have a lot of bags and equipment and things with them, and they tend to look the poorest of the group, folks coming out to this place to find their own plot of land and start a new life. There are several families inside, and the tavern itself is pretty nicely maintained, and it has at its center a kind of mock version of the beacon tower that exists in the center of town, with a blazing hearth and then brick channels running that heat throughout the building. The gentleman at the bar operating the tavern appears to be a water genasi of some kind, and he's just happily serving up drinks to everybody that comes by. New travelers, eh?
Yeah, how's it
Well.
going, Slick? Could we get? Does anyone want anything other than ale? Ale?
I'll have a spot of tea, please.
A spot of tea, and 4 ales.
Spot of tea and 4 ales coming up.
Actually, I look over.
You guys need a
V.
seat? I got some stuff in the corner.
Look over at V, and I'm like, make it 5. 5 ales.
5 ales it is.
I should have inquired what tea do you have available?
Oh. Well, we've got a herbal balance. Some local folks have picked out some flowers from the nearby forest, New Haven Woods, and they've done a local herbal blend. Besides that, we've got, Saskatoon Dark, and we've got Caligarn Progressive Tea.
I will skip that one for sure. Let's go with the herbal mixture you mentioned.
Of course. It's quite nice, a little bit sweet. I think you like it.
We shall see. We shall see.
All right. I'll have that up for you guys in a minute. Go ahead and grab a seat. There's an open booth near the corner there.
As Marric goes to take a seat, he's going to try and eye up any, troublemakers in the tavern.
Okay. Give me a perception check, Mr. Merric. First roll of the new show!
Oh,
it's a
21 it
21.
is.
Oh, that's a good roll. You don't spot initially anybody that, makes your Merric sense tingle. Immediately. Instead, you see a lot of groups. There appears to be at least 8 settler families in here, presumably waiting for the next boat to take them to the eastern edges of the river where most of the new land is that you'd be familiar with. Apart from that, it's a lot of merchants, a lot of your average people that you'd expect to go through this kind of big transit hub. You see 2 groups of adventurers that appear to be well armed, but they don't give you any sign that they're there to start anything. Probably looking to do missions in the Ghostlands for the moment. There is one person who doesn't fit in among the groups that you'd regularly expect to see here. And it is a gentleman wearing a long, almost perfectly white robe. And this perfectly white robe has these kind of blue and silver embellishments along the seams, kind of like a swirling, almost a lace pattern that shines and sparkles a bit. And he is sitting very casually, drinking what appears to be a large glass of ghost wine.
I'll, as we go to sit down, I'm going to try and sit next to Dulcinea. And as we sit down, I'm going to kind of elbow her hip and just sort of
Yeah, I scoot down several inches in my chair to get on his goblin height, because I'm significantly taller than he is. What, you think he's competition or just interesting?
Yeah, look, no one comes to a place like this wearing nothing but white robes, okay?
White is
That's
a very
nothing.
dangerous color to pull off out here.
Yeah. Look, in a place like this, it means one of 2 things, okay? It means either 1, this guy is a mook who has absolutely no idea where he is, or 2, he's a regular that nobody messes with.
Do I recognize his robes or any insignia on him?
No, they're not consistent with any of the organizations you're familiar with.
Did you say what race he is?
A closer inspection, he appears to be a half-elf.
Well, I guess, we could go buy him a drink if you want.
What, you want me to do it?
Oh,
Yeah,
either of us.
Look, people tend to have a particular reaction when I buy them drinks, okay? And last time I couldn't afford the room rental.
God, fine. I'll go do it myself then.
I'll I'll move out of the booth just to let Dulcinea get out, and then I'll go back in and just sort of shimmy my way up that thing.
Yeah,
Never
I'll
make booths big enough for like fucking half the size.
I'll make my way over to him because I too am also not wearing ideal clothing. It's very, very neat. It's very practical and well made and appropriate for the climate, but it's too good for this area. It's a little bit too spotless.
Mook.
Yeah, no, I'll slide up to him. I don't see many people braving such fashion choices out here like us.
Oh, well, I'm on a diplomatic mission, you see. One must always look his best.
What a coincidence. And I share such the same philosophy.
Oh,
Out here, we have to be civilized.
of course. We are guests in this land, you understand? So
Of
we must
course.
look our best.
Could I ask who sent you or who you're representing?
Private, I'm afraid.
Oh, completely understandable. We all keep our secrets.
Oh, absolutely. Would you like to try some ghost wine? They come from berries in the Northlands. They're quite good.
I've never had any before. Is it strong?
Oh, it's quite tasty. Here, I'll pour you a glass.
Yeah, I'll, crap, is there anything I have that can identify stuff? You know what? Let's cast detect thoughts. I would love to know what surface level thoughts this man is thinking at me as he offers me wine.
As he offers you wine, his surface level thoughts drift to, that's a company, Faye. As he kind of glances to the side towards V.
I'm just sitting there with my giant ass mug of ale. It's like a regular size, but big for V. But they can put it away, so it's
Do you
fine.
want Pointer to help hold your ale for you?
Oh no, I'm very experienced at this. Actually,
Okay.
never want to say no to drinks. It's just a great networking opportunity. So I've my forearm's actually pretty strong.
As I can tell. And then while that happens, Pointer is lifting the tea to Chea's mouth. So like she's basically asking if she needs help. Chea technically does not need the help, but Pointer is pouring the tea into her mouth anyway.
So, let me ask you, with that steel, have you noticed any correlation between where you find it and like the ley lines?
Well, we do know that it is magical in nature. It's usually found around areas where there's almost like a chaotic energy around it, if that makes sense. We're still looking into the properties and trying to figure it out. But really what I'm hoping to find is a piece even bigger than what my mother has discovered. I think that would give us a better ideal for what it's capable of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a, amateur, sort of I have an interest in all this sort of stuff, but I do have a couple theories, and you might be interested in this, V, because it's probably either it's in line with the ley lines, sort of like veins of gold, right? But follows the ley lines. Either that, or it's directly opposite them, and it's only where there's no ley lines. It's one of the two, I'm pretty sure. Just from what I've read of, your write-ups that have seen from your mom. So.
Yes, well, I mean, as you already discussed earlier, randomly we usually find the different pieces, and it's usually in inconsistent shapes and sizes. There's also, too, the issue of the circular lakes and ponds found all over the expanse. And at the edges, usually there is that chaotic, magical energy. So I don't know if maybe perhaps there is a ley line that is coursing underneath or nearby that is causing that.
Is expense steel actually steel, or is that just what it's called?
That's just what they call it.
It's just the name that it was given.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, because I don't know. Is there any in the company there? Is there any kind of information that you guys have regarding where it's usually found?
In that moment, like Shea's about to say something, but then looks over at V because of the fact that she's now trying to figure out if actually V could possibly be trying to get information to take back to Calgon. And she's like, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, this tea, actually, it's so interesting. I wonder what herbs they use for this. And she's like trying to deflect as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I was asking V if over at the Satchel they had any intel on it.
So, V, you would know that the members of the Golden Satchel do have a keen interest in the Expanse steel, but more as a valuable commodity, something that's to be pulled out of the ground and then sold in bulk to interested buyers. The only person that is interested in development of Expanse steel is the industrial seat of the Satchel, a warforged by the name of Mr. Degris Fahrenheit.
Just putting that in my notes as F degree.
Yeah.
Well, there you can find someone in Caligarn interested in just about anything. I would say most companies are just interested in partaking in whatever trade will develop as a result of uncovering this new commodity as a potential industry that develops. There are a lot of people who will want to be on top of that sort of thing. Not as many people interested, I would say, in this. The people interested in development are likely the sort of people who would pay your sorts of people to figure that thing out.
Got it. Okay, cool. That's what I'm hoping for, because, we would love to figure that sort of thing out.
So, the ale that arrives is actually very good. It's got kind of an oaky flavor to it. It's very tasty. The tea is full of very floral scents to it, and just has bitter sweetness to it. And Dulcinea, the wine that you receive, is very sweet, almost with a little bit of a sour aftertaste. Wine that complements it nicely, and it's a little bit clear with almost a little bit of milky white flowing through it as he hands it off to you.
This was an excellent recommendation. Thank you.
Oh, it's quite good. Tell me, are you and your companions headed into the Ghostlands?
Yes, they seem to seek their fortune out in the wilderness, and I kind of make sure they don't put their foot in their mouths too much.
Ah, well, you be careful traveling north. We are guests here, of course, and we never know what you find out there.
Have you frequently been north? And I do still have detect thoughts up on him, so I would see whatever is shifting as he's speaking.
The surface level thought is, we are not welcome up north, and no one should go.
Interesting. Well, your taste in wine is exquisite, as is your taste in fashion. I have to ask, did you manage to find a tailor out here who could do this? Because I have not had any luck. Or did you get this done out of the continent? And I'm hoping to get a flash of the Empire of where he did get it from.
These are a personal purchase. The flash in his mind is they're ceremonial.
Well, please give your compliments to my tailor. They are quite skilled.
Of course. Pleasure to meet with you.
Oh, we didn't properly introduce ourselves. How rude of me. I'm Lady Dulcinea Corvinus. I'll put my hand out.
Ah, nice to meet you. I am Benedict Wiggins.
Well, it is very pleasant to meet you, Sir Wiggins. I should get back to my party before they do something embarrassing.
Oh, of course. There's a gentleman who just came in who appears to be eyeing your group up.
Oh, yeah, I'll look where he's looking.
And a somewhat nervous-looking, skinny gentleman wearing a button-up shirt and a pair of large round glasses with darkened lenses, has walked in, and he appears to be looking in your group's direction.
Yeah, I'll slide back over to Marric and kind of scoot down. Yeah, that guy, hard to tell. Might be a mook out here, but his clothing is very well done. Ceremonial. Could be something religious. He doesn't think we should go north, though.
Yeah, I don't think we should go north.
Also, there's that new guy who's around, too.
And
And
he's
I'm pointing
walking
to the
up to
skinny
your
guy.
table.
Oh.
Hello. You are Lady Dulcinea, correct?
Yes, and you might be?
The blue raven blots out the moon.
Keep smiling, and I just dart my eyes back and forth to everyone else.
Well, Mr. I'm sorry, your name is the Blue Raven dots out the moon?
No, but you have passed my test. My name is Daryl Higgins. I am an associate of the governor.
Oh. Right.
Pleasure to meet you, Daryl, Mr. Higgins.
It is good to
Does
meet you
Daryl have
as
any
well.
weapons?
No.
Great. That's great. We were hoping to meet with him. Is he around?
Of course. The governor has invited you to stay at his home at an undisclosed location.
Right.
Hmm.
The undisclosed location. Heard about it.
Yes.
Look, I
When
don't
you
know
are
this
ready,
guy.
I would be happy to lead you there.
Are there more exams along the way in order to get to said undisclosed location?
That depends. Will you be bringing guests?
I don't
No?
believe so.
Then there will be no further tests. You will be permitted entry.
All right.
All right.
Great. Great.
Okay.
How close
Do
are
we-
we to being done here, guys?
I mean,
Look, do we trust this guy? This guy's loopier than a hoop snake avalanche.
Do we trust anyone up here?
Here, you might as
Okay,
well see
valid
where
point.
he wants to go.
all right. I'm ready. Let's do
Perhaps
this
he's
shit.
one of those that are a part of the contest, and so I'm not sure if we should follow.
No, he said there weren't going to be any more tests.
I don't know anything about any contest. Do not involve me.
What kind of tests?
Ixnay on the on-test lay.
I'm getting
Screaming inside.
increasingly confused, and I usually do around this group anyway, but even more so.
We can talk about it in private. Let's finish our food. And are you just going to stand there the whole time?
I will slip into the shadows. I will find you again when you are ready. And he walks over to the bar and takes a seat somewhere clearly visible.
Is he just looking at us?
Yes, he is just staring at you from across the bar.
Well, the stable hand did say the governor would find us, and that certainly tracks in a weird way.
Yeah, can I just get like a blanket insight check on what's going on here?
Yeah, I'd like to participate on that too. I feel
Okay,
like
I
this
took a
guy's
long
got
day.
like a mad million-mile stare.
Ignore that.
Chea is writing down what code it was. The blue.
Oh, it's the same number. Wow.
She's trying to write it down.
Yeah.
Top shelf.
Blue Raven. Wait, was it the
Blue
sun or
Raven?
the moon? The moon. Blue
moon?
Raven is big as
Blots out the moon.
Blots out the moon. Okay.
So,
I don't know what that means.
21.
so with a 21, your initial assessment of this gentleman is that he's a few coins short of a satchel. And
Sure.
you get the impression that he is just really paranoid and seems to be just kind of like monitoring everybody in this place as though he's looking for an attacker or an assailant that may not be coming.
I agree. He seems kind of off, but I don't think he's actually going to do anything. Or he's not going to do anything well.
I think anyone, honestly, that comes to the Treasured Expanse is slightly off, right?
You know
They
what?
kind of look at everybody at this table.
That's just rude.
So, in the Saskatoon court, they had a jester, of course, but they also had a court poet who just kind of wandered around and said cryptic shit to, like, make you think.
Oh
Maybe-
yeah, I know that guy. He's really, really nice. Kind of creepy though.
Kind of weird. He can
Yeah.
drink like a motherfucker. But,
Mhm.
so maybe that's what this guy's doing. Maybe he says he works for the governor and they bring a touch of class from home or something.
I mean,
This
that
is
is
definitely
true.
not poetry. Far from it, in
Well, I
fact.
don't know.
Saskatoon is trying to expand their cultural horizons out here, though.
Like, what if the blue raven is like a metaphor for death or something?
It would be black then. Poetic.
I agree. And it would take a very large raven in order to blot out the moon. I've never seen one that's that large.
The Rock could do it.
Yeah, maybe.
A
I think maybe we
rock
think we're giving this guy way too much credit.
I do think he is just going to stare at us until we get up, though.
Correct. Oh, I'm taking my time with my drink. I'm enjoying my ghost wine.
I have definitely lost my appetite with this guy staring at me. I'm gonna put my coaster on my my ale, and you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna just go check outside for, like, I don't know, an impending ambush, and you know, I'll wait outside for you guys.
All right. Yep.
DM, I do want Shea's gonna take a look at the person and just see, like, if there's anything that basically would indicate like on, like, their outfit, or if there's any type of badge, anything that would basically identify something other than what that person identified, like, you know, as far as Daryl Higgins. Is he really Daryl Higgins? Is there something that basically Chea could, if she needed to, take from this person to
Give
really
me
truly identify them?
An investigation check, please, Chea.
I will. Let's see. That was only a 16.
Okay. Well, at 16, you look him over, and he becomes visibly more nervous the more you look at him, and starts to shift in his seat. But you also notice that this advisor to the governor has really nice boots.
There's nothing more than that, like anything, any symbol, anything.
No other symbols on him, but the boots are unusually nice, and they don't match the rest of his dress.
Okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna ask him. I'll get over and walk to the guy. Yeah, I'll get up over there and I'll be like, could you settle something for us? So what does the blue raven represent? Is it like allegorical or like a metaphor for something divine, or, you know?
That is an interesting question. Have you seen many blue ravens about?
No, I mean, it's hard to see. Sometimes, you know, when they catch the light, they look kind of bluish.
Are there any blue ravens in the room tonight?
Is this a metaphor? Or are you talking literally about, like, blue bird? Do they have blue ravens over here? Back home, most of the ravens are black.
I apologize. I was making a reference. You probably haven't heard of it. He just begins to turn away.
Yeah, I'll go back to the table. Yeah, definitely some kind of creative. He's talking about, like, obscure plays or something. I don't know.
I will say that I did notice that his boots are of the finest leather. They look rather expensive.
Maybe he's a
Or
cobbler.
just someone who's simply helping.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
If I head
are
out
the
the front,
governor. The governor has money.
if I head out the front, do I notice anyone in the street, like, looking suspicious, or?
No, by this time it's getting into evening, and most people are just kind of going about their day, getting ready to head inside. There doesn't appear to be anyone suspicious going about their business. It seems to be a pretty normal day in Lights Watch.
No one suspicious, eh? That's mighty suspicious.
proceeds
Whole
to be
town, not
suspicious.
one suspicious person? Not even one shady drunk? My. Feel like we've walked right into Stepford, we have. I'm teasing. Keep
All
going.
right. Go ahead. All right. So, do you guys have any further business in the tavern?
No, I want to see this undisclosed location.
Very well.
I chug the 5th beer.
It's just like flying in all kinds of directions.
With these strong fairy
Yeah.
arms.
Yeah, my strong fairy. You know, they always talk about that strong fairy constitution.
Yeah.
Great at holding their liquor and beer.
Fairies can lift. So,
And drink, apparently.
Mr. Daryl Higgins is more than happy to lead you guys out of the tavern. And he takes you on a winding route that goes through several back alleys and seems to double back on a previous route before arriving at a lavish iron rod gate surrounded estate. Like a large mansion. And on a plaque at the gates on one of these brick pillars is a bronze plaque that says undisclosed location.
Yeah,
We have arrived.
I really think you guys have are kind of confused on what, like this. Hey, you know what? New World Navy conventions. I'm into it. All right, I'm here for it.
We have arrived at the undisclosed location. I will lead you inside, and then the governor will meet with you. Please come with me. And I do not think we were followed, but do me a favor and double check.
I
Shay
will
nervously
double-check.
looks behind to look.
There's like a lot of people walking around and nobody seems to care.
Yeah, I absolutely do not even check.
No.
Shay's definitely checking. Is there anyone like eyes on them since that was mentioned? No, nothing at all.
Nobody's even looking.
Wait, are there ravens nearby? That is the real question. Are there ravens that are blue?
give me a perception check. 'Cause we're
Now
gonna play
Shay
like
is
that.
taking this literally.
So black
Like-
that it's blue.
Yeah.
Like Shay is takes things very literally. So,
All right.
oh my god. Okay, hold on. Okay. And this is, as you said, investigation?
Yes. No, perception, please.
Perception. Okay, that's a dirty 20, actually.
All right. With your dirty 20, you take a look around and you see 4 ravens perched on the edges of buildings across the street.
Are they blue? Do they have blue feathers?
It is difficult to tell from this distance, but they could be just very dark blue to the point that they look black.
There are actual ravens. That is probably what he meant. But they are not. It doesn't appear that they look blue in color.
I don't think those ravens could block out the moon.
I definitely agree that they cannot. It's not physically possible. Well, if there was enough of them, possibly.
It's just a matter of perspective. If they're close to you and they fly really close to your eyes and across your eyes, they blot out the moon for you.
Yeah. All right. So what he was talking about is the experience of having a bird land on your face.
I see.
I don't.
Because the raven is in front of your face and it's blotting out everything. That's
Yeah.
why you don't see.
It just like
That
lands
did
on your
happen
nose.
to one of our drivers for a carriage, and yes, it almost tipped over. Actually, it was quite scary.
What does this have to do with anything?
We're still trying
That's
to
what
figure
we're
that
trying to
out.
figure out.
It's all part of the mystery, man. We're just here. Like,
So-
this is how it starts.
As you guys get past the gate, you can see there are a number of guards patrolling the grounds as you're led up to these massive kind of carved wooden doors with metal reinforcements that lead into a opulent, lavish estate. However, the entire place is very sparsely furnished. Only the occasional small ottoman, stool, and maybe a simple wooden bench. There are no adornments and decorations, and all of the windows have blinds tightly shut. Curtains, sorry. lines are maybe too advanced. We'll go with curtains.
We don't have that technology yet.
Curtains tightly drawn for the darkness, and Daryl leads you in. And once he's led you all into the foyer with this kind of grand white and black marbled floor, he says, "Please wait here. I shall go and retrieve the governor, and he will speak with you shortly."
I'm gonna just, surreptitiously make sure that the doors and windows aren't locked. Just
They're all locked with several locks.
God damn it! I don't like this.
Do you need
Got a
help?
bad feeling.
I pull out thieves' tools and help Marric open the locks surreptitiously.
Give me a second.
As subtle as a goblin and a half elf could be.
And a short time later, the same man in different clothes walks out. "Hello, I am Governor Rusty Rangland. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance for this the first time that we are meeting." "Good day, Daryl. You have a good trip home now."
Actually,
"It is a pleasure to meet you."
I had a couple more questions for Daryl about his poetry.
No, Daryl is
You
gone
were
now. He
out for a
cannot come back.
No? Are
He's
you
very
sure?
sick and had to go home.
I don't know. He seemed fine. Maybe. Maybe.
No, he had diarrhea.
Wait, do you have a twin?
I do not have a twin.
No
do you believe in
siblings or
doppelgangers?
at all? I do.
Then I may have a doppelganger. They are crafty, and I've been unable to slay them.
So that means that you didn't slay Daryl yet.
No, I have not slain Daryl.
Interesting.
Do you want to slay Daryl?
Oh my God. Guys, this guy is a lunatic. Do not provoke the insane man.
Don't call him insane. He might be able to hear you. Thank you
I'm
very
very
much
quiet
for
about it.
having us at your lovely house, Governor. And I elbow Marric, and I aim for the ribs, but I basically hit right here because that's where he comes up to.
It is a pleasure to receive you in my home. I have prepared appropriate quarters and have been told to accommodate you for the duration of your stay. I do not want to know anything about what you are doing or what you are embroiled in. I am not in any conspiracies and do not wish to be a part of any conspiracies that may or may not be unfolding in this premises.
That works for us too, right, guys? We don't need any more information.
Oh, we should try to find out if he's a part of the contest,
No.
in addition to no conspiracies.
I do not know about any conspiracies or contests,
That answers my question then.
and I do not wish to know. It is safer that way.
Right, so we'll just assume you forget it, and if anyone asks, you don't know.
I have forgotten nothing because I have heard nothing.
Excellent.
No, all of a sudden, the black unmarked carriage in the stables makes a lot of sense.
I
I think it was odd that they painted unmarked carriage on the side, though.
That's 100%. That's what the license plate says. It's like,
UNMRKD. CRG.
I see you have taken note of my emergency escape craft.
Looking around at his guards, do his guards seem are they in uniforms or are they rando hill people or whatever?
They appear to be mercenaries, each and every one. So, you are now free to move about my grounds. Please do not enter my room between the hours of 8 and 7. That is my time.
During the day or during the night?
Yeah, that
During the night, please.
8. All right, that's reasonable. You know what? It's all good. Never mind.
These seem like very reasonable requests, Mr. Governor Guy.
Please, call me Governor Rangland.
Governor Raglan, We will retire, for our travel has been very long, and we am very exhausted right now.
Of course. I am also very exhausted. I will retire to my quarters now.
Should we be worried?
Yes,
Because
always.
you're not. I know, Merric. I know. Governor, you seemed overly cautious. Is there something you know that we don't?
One could say that my burden is that I know far too much. I do not wish to pass that on to anyone.
Okay, but are we in danger staying here if you feel like you're in danger?
No, we are at a protected, undisclosed location.
What if we said we could handle said burden? I have seen V lift several of those heavy mugs at the Lonely Beacon, and I'm pretty sure she can handle that load.
I'm just gonna throw it out there again. Do you need us to kill Daryl?
I have not yet decided. I will consult with you again in the morning. In the meantime, you will be safe on this undisclosed premises.
Right. Well, thank you for opening your home to us.
It is my
And-
pleasure.
I think we'll just get settled.
Of course. There are snacks and salted goods in the kitchen. Help yourself. I have personally tasted all of them to ensure that they are not poisoned. And then he leaves.
Why am I just imagining like a bowl of peanuts with like every peanut having a tiny nibble out of it?
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, the stable hand did say he was real suspicious.
So, I don't know if you heard earlier, but don't talk about the contest. It's secret. We're here early.
Oh, when was this discussed?
In the car.
When we came in.
Oh, I think that was when me and Pointer were focused on the steel piece.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the
I
future, we'll
apologize.
try to-
In the future.
We'll like get your attention.
Noted.
Make sure.
Let me make a note now. And she
Yeah, look,
starts making a
general
note.
rule of thumb, like, you know, awareness of your surroundings is definitely paramount while we're here, you know, just, you know, when we're out in the field and when we're, you know, like when we're in like a space like this, you know, like it's not so important, but like, yeah, definitely don't want things getting the drop on you. Like lunatic governors.
Well, we haven't confirmed his mental state as of yet, and I believe only a working professional can actually make that call, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I put that down in my notes as well.
I consider myself to be a working professional, and I say the best way to determine his mental state is to see what interesting things he has hidden in here.
Oh, like a tour of this interesting,
Yes,
semi-empty house.
a self-guided tour.
He did say we could go anywhere. I see nothing wrong with that.
Shall we?
Yeah, I think snooping around's a good idea.
I mean, if anyone asks, you just say you're a guard because they seem to look like anyone.
Honestly, in my experience, you can just say that this is above someone's pay grade, and they usually get worried and leave you alone if you say it firmly enough.
That's true. I let tons of people through lots of doors after they said shit like that.
Are there any guards around here?
No, they all appear to be outside.
Okay. Have we seen any indication of anyone else in this house?
No.
What are the vibes of the house? So do we get a vibe check on the actual room we're in?
It gives off like old isolated weirdo vibes.
Oh, okay,
Like-
are we Scooby doing this? Are we like, you know,
Jack
okay,
of
gang,
National
let's split up and look for
Geographic
clues.
in the corner.
Yeah, so the room that you're in is this large kind of marble floor foyer. There's two semicircle staircases that lead up to a second floor, and beneath those staircases are doorways that branch off into other halls.
Well,
Right on. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if there's any cool shit here.
Yeah.
You gotta figure.
let's split up.
Like
Sorry.
most of the cool
All right.
stuff that got found by any sort of official looking around, you know, will probably end up here. There's probably a room somewhere with like random relics and stuff.
Dead bodies.
There's only one way to find out. To investigate.
All right. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, I am going to investigate the governor.
Very well.
I still think this guy is batty, but I like paranoid people because it means that they can tell me what I should be afraid of, which Marric's afraid of everything, because everything's out to get Marric.
It's
Just
not
Merric
paranoia if they're actually after you.
Exactly.
So, all right. So Merric is going after the governor. Where's everybody else going?
I'm taking one of those.
I'm gonna
staircases.
go.
Yeah.
I'll stay on this floor. I'll be looking at a what's the word? For an office of sorts.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow V.
All right. And Dulcinea, are you going with Trafer or
Where's Trafer going?
I'm heading up the
upstairs?
stairs. I'm just
I'll go
wandering
upstairs.
through this
It's not.
place.
Yeah, let's not split up too much. Yeah, I'll go with Trafer.
All right. Very well. So we'll
Nothing
start.
happens when you split the party.
Nothing.
Of course not.
Bad has ever happened.
There's actually a Hydra hidden in one of these rooms for our level 3/6 party.
It's actually a multi-hydra. It is a hydra that's actually the body is made up of other hydras.
I
And
feel
it's-
fine. I'm gonna just stand
mega
behind Trafer, and it'll be
Hydratron.
fine. This is my plan for the entire game.
All right, Marric, you go after the governor, and you get him partially down the hallway as he's kind of like walking along and very carefully checking every corner as he moves. Ah!
Hey, Governor.
Why have you followed me?
Well, I had something I wanted to discuss with you.
I warn you, I do not have any money, but when I was a child, I was very sick.
What? Okay. Well, I mean, I find the fact that you don't have money a bit weird. You know, you live in a mansion.
Touche, little goblin.
But I'm not after money.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm looking for some information, you see. Because, the Red Raven creates shade in the sun.
Ah. But the Black Raven watches from the rooftop. We are kindred minds, I can tell.
Yeah, kindred minds and all that.
Haven't you
Now, seeing as-
have I passed your test?
You have passed my test.
Good.
And as people who have passed each other's tests, you know, maybe we could, share the burden of knowledge here, you know, between fellow like-minded individuals.
It is a terrible burden. Are you prepared to receive it?
I am prepared to receive this burden.
Very well. They are watching. They are always out to get you. At any moment, they could strike. They could be anyone, even you. That's why I always give myself the test in the mirror every morning.
I see. And, how do you know if it's not you?
If I do not pass the test,
Keep it together, Mike. All right. And who are these folk in the mirror?
I do not know their intentions or what their morals are, but they seek the ultimate destruction of everything we hold dear. Of that I am certain.
My God.
It is true. I told you this would be harrowing.
Oh, it is, but how do we know? Do we just have to administer the test?
Yes, they do not understand the test, and the ones that do not understand it will just go along.
See, so they just pretend like everything's normal.
Yes, they do not know what normal is, so you must throw them off. They are unfamiliar with us and our ways. The more that we act ourselves, the more that we arm them with the ability to make themselves hidden in our very own midst.
As he's saying this, Marric's changed. You can see his facial expression going from one of, like, humoring the governor to, Wait a minute. The tavern. I went outside and everyone was like extra normal.
You
Like, it
saw
was
them
not
too.
There wasn't a single suspicious person around me.
There could have been any number of them in that group.
My God. What have I uncovered? This is just the tip of the iceberg. How deep does this go? Do the empires know?
I am not sure how far it goes, but I have sent multiple letters to the Empress and have yet to hear a reply. It is possible that they have gotten to them already.
Either that or they've gotten to the post.
My God. I had not even considered that.
If they control the means of communication from the Treasured Expanse, that means all power already resides with them.
I have a project in mind to train fish to carry small letters.
I
will redouble my efforts. Excellent. Perhaps we can be partners in this new endeavor.
All right. I'm in.
Come, I shall bring you to the fish room.
I will follow him to the fish room.
Marric goes with the governor to the fish room.
What a sentence.
Episode 1, baby.
Episode 1. We're gonna come across a lot of shit that nobody's ever heard of before in this show.
The fish room.
This room being the most egregious of them all.
Right, V and Chea. You go through a lot of empty rooms. There's one room with just like loose empty boxes kind of like piled all over the place. There's another room just full of empty jars, and like 3 of them have nails in them, but the rest have nothing. And then eventually you come across a room that appears to have one point been an office and study. However, it has long since been repurposed into something like a research room. All of the books have been removed from the shelves, so all of the bookshelves are now empty. And the desk is just piled with papers, kind of ramshackly strewn about. And behind the desk, there is a wall of papers tacked to the wall. And there are pieces of red twine wrapped around the pegs, attaching the papers to the wall, and then lining up to other pegs, creating a kind of web of these red cords along the wall.
Oh, this is so disturbing. Don't you agree, V?
Yeah, I do not know what I expected. Wow.
I mean, how on earth? All of the books and all of the notes disorganized. The books need to be on the shelves in alphabetical order, and then you have to make sure that all of your paperwork is neatly filed. This is just...
I think we're focusing on different things, but we are arriving at the same conclusion. So we should, oh my God.
Go through all of the papers and organize them?
And while we do that, maybe we try and see what we find in the content.
Yes, I think that's a perfect plan. I knew that we would get along quite well.
I do enjoy working with you, sincerely.
Well, let's get to it. And she shoves up her sleeves.
Yeah, so does B, honestly.
So, as you guys root through the paperwork, it's almost like a time capsule of madness. The stuff on the top is almost incomprehensible. And as you make your way down, it starts to become more mundane kind of governing documents and papers that make sense and are rational. And in between that, kind of in the middle section, when it all starts to turn, you discover a lot of incident reports from the Lights Watch Guard. And the incidents reports are all during the winter. And there's one for 4th winter, one for 3rd, one for 4th, and one for 6th. The incidents reports are all different. The first one is a guard claims to have seen a family lost in the tragedy of First Winter waving at him from the north side of the river. The second incident report is a guard that vanished from his duty post watching the north side of the river and has not been seen since. And the final one is a pair of guards who complained of piercing screams coming from the north side of the river that nobody else could hear.
And which of those are the most recent?
The two guards who complained of the piercing screams is the most recent. That was at 6th Winter, and we are currently in year 10 of settlement, so we are on our way to 10th Winter.
Do we have the information for the guards as far as the information, like where they are?
Yes, the
currently?
details say that the guards have been relieved of their posts and sent to the local temple for treatment.
I think pretty soon into the process, V would have mentioned that we should switch from alphabetical to chronological for organizing.
I agree. I think that in this case, that's necessary to try to unfold what is happening.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was kind of hoping it would be... I was hoping we would have more baseless conspiracy theories rather than official governmental documents.
You know, oftentimes people misunderstand people who actually are quite intelligent and levels of genius. I think that our governor may not be as loopy as some of our team members seem to believe he is.
Yes, I also... In my experience, there are a lot of different things that can drive people mad. So there may be some truth behind... I don't think his approach is sensible. I think there are sensible reasonings behind it. If any of this is, well, if it's a portent of something that might come. It doesn't seem like, aside from the isolated incidents, these aren't very well known, and there's not much, I guess, done about it from a legislative or protective perspective, so that would probably drive a lot of people mad.
Chea is going to take a look at the wall now that had all of the, like, red threads, you said?
The wall has a lot of strange scrawlings, and there are a lot of artistic depictions of various people from town, and some of them have question marks on them with scrawled in ink, one of them, with pieces of, and they appear to be pasted on what appears to be a map of the town.
In that moment, what Shea's going to do is pull out her cartographer's set to try to basically, as close as she can, get it exact to what she sees before her. So she's going to kind of like, you'll see, like V would see, basically, she's like, oh, we have to record this. And then she's going to take everything out and kind of like lay it and try to get it nice and flat and try to start drawing kind of the town and also to kind of the wherever things are connected to try to figure out what basically the governor was trying to piece together.
All right.
To see the correlation.
V is also proficient in that, and so will absolutely help you. Like, if we're doing like a scale model, we'll be like, okay, this is like 5 inches here, so it needs to be like 2.5 here, and like at 30
and then
degrees.
This right here, mark this particular angle.
We're like taking turns back and forth.
Yeah, we're working in sync. It's like, it's
Girl
teamwork makes the dream work. Yes.
So, as you guys help each other with that, if you take enough time with it, a lot of it appears to be nonsensical until you come across 5 entries that he has pasted on the map, and the sketches appear to be of individuals wearing similar clothes to the man in the white robes in the tavern. All of them remarkably similar. And we're going to leave you guys right there with that bit of information.
Got it.
As we catch up with Dulcinea and Trafer moving through the lower levels of the main floor.
Just opening doors.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
just kind of looking around to see. I'm sort of trying to sort out if this is like should we even be staying here tonight? Like,
I mean, he said it was. Look, he said it was safe, and this town is known to be pretty safe. Like,
Right.
there's worse places here.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of questioning like how much we can trust his word. Like, he says something's safe, but he seems to think a lot of things aren't safe that aren't safe, which they might be. Like, you know, look, it's a weird world, all right? I feel like the more you learn about magic stuff, the more, like, the less rules there seem to be. So anything's possible. But dude's just got a weird way of handling stuff that kind of, makes me question.
It is kind of extreme, but hey, look at it this way. And I like throw open another door to an empty room. There's no furniture for assassins to hide here. There's no vials to hide poison in. There's no spell scrolls. There's nothing here that can hurt us. Anything that could be used against us has been taken out.
Well, like, doesn't that strike you as weird? That there's no furniture, there's no shelves, there's nothing on the walls. I'll go into this room that she just opened, and with like the butt of my axe, just start like tapping around on the floor, see if there's any hollow tiles.
All right. You don't. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. No, you go.
I'm not
Okay,
expecting.
you don't find any hollow tiles or anything, but as you guys search, you do find a lot of empty rooms. There appears to be like what was likely an old meeting room. It has an empty hearth in it that is long disused. You do find that there are guest rooms for you guys, and you find those are some of the only rooms that actually have full furnishings in them.
Right.
And then the last room that you come across, the door opens with almost like a suck of air, as though it was a room that nobody had ever been in for a long time. And this room is beautifully decorated and nicely appointed. This looks like the room of a head of government. It is a dining hall or a banquet hall of some sort. It has this long carved wooden table with these beautifully appointed chairs with velvet seats and a huge hearth covered in various found items from the Expanse, small trinkets and that kind of thing. Large curtains, which have all been drawn shut, and the seats of the chairs are covered with fine red velvet.
Does it look like it's been disused or used, dusty?
Disused, all quite dusty, like nobody's been in here for quite some time.
No, I just said I wasn't scared of anything, but I am gonna like scoot behind Trafer. I'm gonna be like, you going in?
Yeah, no, Trafer walks right in.
I
here we
scoot
go.
close
This
to
is like-
him.
This is like a proper, room here for an embassy or whatever the hell a governor counts as over here. Like, what is all the?
I'll go over to the mantle and check out the trinkets and crap.
Yeah, you are the relic expert.
It's like dried leaves and sticks and flowers. There's some unusual rocks. What appears to be some kind of animal shell with a conical shape to it. The kind of things that, like, if you were out on a walk with a kid might pick up and say, "This is treasure."
Sure.
And
Like local crap.
yeah, like, oh, look at this cool rock. Oh, look at this cool branch. Oh, this is a nut. Like,
That's a weird.
I found a neat acorn. And as you take a closer look in the room, on the wall where the doorways are, there is an enormous painting that depicts a gentleman standing next to a seated woman, and standing in front of them are two young girls.
Does the guy look familiar?
Yes, he looks a lot like the governor,
Hey, it's Daryl.
only like healthier looking and less wiry.
I mean, I think that sort of explains things.
Yeah, that sort of explains things. I'm guessing it wasn't a pleasant situation.
Yeah, look, I saw a lot of devastation in the after effects of the war back on the mainland. It looks like this. People do crazy things in grief that aren't actually that crazy until they're taken to full extremes.
Yeah. 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 Do some wild shit.
But I think it's safe here. Whatever he's scared of, it's history at this point, and I've brushed some dust off of the table nearest to me. This happened at least a year ago.
Yeah, but like, it seems stuff like this happens every year out here. You know, everybody's talking about don't go north of the water. Don't go, you know, like, I don't know. I guess I initially thought, you know, probably just like ghost stories to keep people from searching around too much. But, man, the more further we go in here, the more people we talk to, like, shoot, I don't even know if we should be going out there.
You want to go home, back to Saskatoon?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe not north.
I mean, did you just not believe them when they told you this? I mean, who even sent you over in the first place?
Well, it's kind of unclear. Like, I got the message from my mom, you know, she kind of high up in the Reliquary Society. Like, hey, we got an opportunity for you to, you know, get out there, maybe break out from just the guard thing. But it's not like she gave, you know, the invitation, the order. So, it's just higher up, you know, just one of those, like, came from higher up sort of situations.
You didn't ask?
Why would I? No, it's not my job to ask.
Oh. Well, you should ask next time somebody wants to send you into a dangerous, life-threatening situation with ghosts and monsters and winters that mysteriously eat people.
I mean, kind of like a royal guard, sort of adjacent. So, jumping into dangerous situations, sort of in the job, you just stop questioning it.
You can say no. You can just walk away. You can just walk out of things that aren't
like,
safe.
You know, you're like at court and stuff. You can't just say no. Like sometimes
I wasn't always at court. You can say no. You just have to say it politely enough that they think it was their idea.
I don't follow.
Well, you just make it sound like the thing that you want to do was what they wanted you to do in the first place. If they wanted to send you out here to explore, maybe you proposition that, no, you're really needed back on the continent because there's a new shipment of relics coming in from Ramvali, maybe, and you need to go on that mission because guarding that stuff is more tangible and important. And then they'll think that's a great idea, and your bosses will send you there instead.
All right, but like nobody would believe that because the shit that comes from Ramvali is always garbage.
No, we don't say that. Everybody has their own great artifacts.
They don't send us the good stuff though. Like half the stuff that comes out of there is just bogus. It's just bunk, like straight up.
Do you think they have hidden things they're not telling us about?
Oh hell yeah, probably.
Even though we have treaties after the war, that's so shifty of them.
I mean, there are treaties that just keeps us from, you know, invading each other. It doesn't mean they're gonna like share all their secrets.
I guess.
And with that, as night descends on the undisclosed location, and our various party members go about their investigations and fish training, just outside, near the river crossing, open the gates! Adventurers to the Ghostland coming through. And the gates swing open. And two of the groups that were in the tavern, those groups of adventurers ready to set out on missions in the abandoned Ghostlands to find treasure, make their way slowly across the bridge. And they're followed by a half-elf, a man in white, walking slowly up north. And we're going to take a break right there.
Mean.
All right.
Man in white coat!
We're going to take a little break, guys. We'll be back in a little bit, and we're going to learn a little bit about these cool people that I'm playing D&D with.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to see some character info. Everybody's level 3, okay? That was something left from the template. We are all level 3, all right?
We're not trying to trick you. It's a typo.
Enjoy these previews for our Wednesday show. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
The king wanted to ask.
And
Hello, and welcome back to Last Light. I like to take this moment at the half point of the show to say that I am a very lucky dungeon master because I get to play with all these cool people here. And I like to take this moment at the half point of the show to let them tell you about the things that they do out there on the internets. So I will start today with my good friend, Trafer Grok.
oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, it worked that time. Okay. My name's Jonathan. I'm known here as Trafer. I'm the producer here, pushing the buttons, make this stuff happen. And I want to take my plug time to tell you a little bit more about these little gold coins you see in the corner of each of the players' windows. What those are is a new way. For those of you who've been around for a bit, you know, we used to do the thing with the ultimate abilities, cutscenes, this fun stuff. This season, in both of our shows, what we're doing is these little boon tokens. I don't know, we didn't really name them yet, and I don't have them named consistently where they're listed as stuff. But
Chaos coins!
Chaos coins! I love it. For whatever reason, the Twitch panels just aren't letting me update them. So it would be in there, but you know, whatever. But you can go to bit.ly/lastlighttip and you can give tips to the cast. Those tips are broken up, and it actually we'll show you how those are broken up. We're using an awesome system called Pally now to immediately give the portions out to the players. But what those do is for every $5 you donate, every $5 you tip, you can designate one coin to the player of your choice. And we can use those coins. We can use single coin to gain advantage on a roll. And we can use 5 coins for what is called a flashback scene. You all know what a flashback is. But what these flashbacks do is they allow us in the moment to designate something that happened previously that now prepares us for this moment, so we get to entirely skip a roll. Or something like that. At the DM's discretion, of course. But if you're familiar how Ultimates worked the last season or so, you know that this DM's discretion is questionable. And he'll let us get away with a lot. So
things may have gotten off the chain.
Be sure to check those out. And yeah, I'm super excited for this show. And come join us Wednesday. We have another show.
Yeah, what's that? You might see us all again.
You might see some.
Next up, also my good friend, whose name has been whipped into me to pronounce correctly, Dulcinea is here.
It's a struggle sometimes, but he did get it right, and I'm very proud of him. Hi, I'm Arcady. I play Dulcinea. And you heard that mention of Wednesday's show. I'll take my promo time to shill for that show. It is called Of Those Lost. It's with a new Dungeon Master, Kai, who I'm very, very excited to work with. It's going to be a little spooky. And you should come hang out with us at the same time as this on Wednesdays. You'll see some familiar faces and some new faces. And I play a character who, in my notes, the top note is all the utility of a half-domesticated raccoon who occasionally sneezes magic. So, like, that should sell you on that. Yeah, otherwise, I just moved, so my social media presence has been a little hectic, but I'm, like, settling in. So you can find me being a bit more active on all my social media, which is Arcady Koshka. And you can find me doing cool things like makeup and costuming and taking pictures of my cat.
Thank you so much. And next up, cool new friend, V. V, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm V. I'm also Amelia Som, or Mills. You can find me most places at Amelia Som or by going to links.ameliasom.com. And I'm going to tell you all the stuff I'm in September. If you don't remember it, just follow me on Twitter because it's in my pinned tweet. But every Wednesday, the podcast Guild Fellows. If you want to watch me be a sad gay Jedi, that one, well, you can't see it because it's a podcast, but you can hear it. Thursday nights on Total Party Kiss Twitch channel, we're playing Subdatum. If you want to see me be the bitchy ex-wife of another character as we play Die RPG, which is like this really cool isekai RPG where you make characters and your characters make characters and your characters get sucked into the game of your characters. It's a great time. And then on Fridays, if you want me to play a god who makes, I think, excellent decisions, some of my party members disagree, you can find me on Offbeat Outlaws YouTube channel for Paperwork Pantheon. Again, if you just go to links.ameliasom.com, follow me on Twitter, I tell you things right before they happen, and then you don't have to remember shit except for to follow me.
Well done. I love it. Check out all those things. I'll put the link in the chat.
Thank you.
Next up, another new friend, incredibly dressed exactly like the image of the character displayed. Chea, please tell us about yourself.
Well, hello. I play Shayneth, but everyone knows her as Chea Valaris. I am Utahime on social media. Many of you guys may or may not know that I cosplay. I also, too, am a huge TTRPG enthusiast, and I play on a lot of different channels. So definitely, if you want to follow me at Utahime Cosplay, UTAHIME Cosplay, you'll see all the different shenanigans I'm up to. I'm going to be mentioning some of them. But before I do that, I can't forget that I also, too, should announce that I am community manager for two amazing TTRPG communities, the Initiative Order and Cyber Nation Uncensored, which has a lot of cyberpunk. I actually am going to be joining their Team Nevermore campaign on Saturdays at Cyber Nation Uncensored at 5 p.m. Pacific time this Saturday. So definitely check that out. I'm going to be bringing a fun character over there. On Sunday, I'm going to be over on Scabby Rooster for a playthrough of the Islands of Sina Una. It's called too. It's really, I love the title of it. There's something about Dewata. I love that. It's fantastic. And that's run by Ryan Omega. So I'm super excited because I haven't had a chance to play through that system. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then on September 14th at 5 p.m. Pacific time over on Open Circuit Studios, I'm going to be joining the amazing cast for the Leverage TTRPG. So it is Leverage Los Angeles. I'm super excited because you literally cannot find the hard copy of this TTRPG system anywhere. So it's really, really cool because it uses the Cortex system. So I'm super stoked because I am a fan of Leverage. So definitely stay tuned for all those shenanigans. And if you want to see what else I'm up to, again, follow me on the socials. And I'm super excited to be a part of this campaign with this amazing group. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Next up, rocking an incredible hat, Marric. Tell me what you got going on.
G'day, guys. Hi, my name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. I do tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff on the TTRPG scene. I have my own channel on Twitch where I hang out with my Patreons and play games and chat with you guys and do cool things. But I'm also cast members on a ton of different shows, including, of course, TikTok famed Quincy's Tavern. I'm one of the tavern guards over on there once a month on Sundays. And I also am a member of the Careful Cantrip family, where I play over on their channel as well. I'm also part of a stream team with a bunch of Australians, including Robert Hartley GM and the Dreaded GM, where we go and do a ton of different stuff, charity streams, kind of fundraisers, that sort of thing. And we work with just a wide collaboration of people in places all around the world, including things like Phoenixy Wacky. We've also done stuff with Dingo Doodles and just tons and tons of stuff. Honestly, it's at this point in time in my life, it's much easier to Google me than it is to tell you to go somewhere in particular. But if you like TTRPGs and you like meeting good people, hey, give my stuff a follow, because sure enough, I will bounce around and find myself in the presence of such amazing people as these guys right here in the Mercs of Mischief, who, we've been friends for like a while. And it's been just an absolute delight getting to play for the first time officially with Puck. Because we did a secret little game a while ago where I got to GM for Puck. So I'm stoked. I know Marric's very but I'm Michael's just bouncing off walls here, just this is so cool. So yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
This is far from the first project we've done together. I think we actually met you in our season one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
because
I just did a project together.
We did.
It's out there. It's out there.
We did. We should talk about it. We should talk about it. Hey guys, just in case you want to know what I look like as a GM, there's another really cool thing I've done with our good friend the Mercs of Mischief. You can go and check out. God damn it, my brain. It's
PD&D.
Everhart
PD&D. That's the one.
It's a buddy comedy D&D podcast. It's great. We've done 2 arcs. So each arc is like an action movie for your ears. It is hilarious. It is literally these two guys, because we did a one shot for a charity with John's character and another friend of ours who the two of them got along so well, we decided to take them on literally a buddy cop comedy. So if you're a fan of Bright, for example, the movie, which is more of a modern day take on fantasy, kind of adventures and stuff like that, it's literally this. It's a big city, dishonored police officer dwarf gets sent into the countryside to meet to meet Pastor Dan Cleus, who It's like the world.
That's a fantastic name.
But yeah, he's just Pastor Dan. It's like the world of Bright, but the story is better. It's like the story of Hot Fuzz, the Simon Pegg movie.
Yeah. Very Hot Fuzz vibes. Super Hot Fuzz vibes.
Before we go back, I want to make sure that I shout out my friends. You guys probably don't know it, but I'm a ranger. Chea is a ranger, but she's a special subclass called the Archaeologist, which can be found on DM's Guild, and it's made by my friends, amazing friends at Dragon Rock RPG Design. So I just wanted to say that because of the fact that I really appreciate them letting me use this material, and also to especially our DM for letting me use it in this campaign. So thank you.
Making around to make the credits real, we'll make sure to get that in there.
I always like to see new exciting stuff. And also, hey, I'm Puck, I'm the Dungeon Master. I get to play a character on Wednesday, so I'm really excited. And if you like my stuff, Puck and Talk is a channel where I make stuff. Hey, do you ever wonder where all the different types of kobolds come from? I do, so I made a movie about it. And do you ever wonder about ideas about mechanical homebrew stuff for D&D and how to come up with ideas for stuff like that? I make videos about that stuff too. And most recently I made a video about one D&D and what I thought about it and what changes are coming out. And I'm a little bit snarky and sarcastic about it, but whatever.
Spoiler, there's hot takes.
Tepid, lukewarm takes. We'll say.
Gotta watch to find out.
Yeah, a take that you could perhaps make a subpar ramen out of. No. Anyways, that's it. Thank you so much to all of my players for joining me and telling me about the things that they're doing out there. And thank you all for watching.
Before you relinquish the floor there, I noticed, on our kind of main screen here, and also in your little box up there, when you're front and center, there's a little meter. It says "Fill to unleash chaos." That's, that also gets filled up as you tip the cast here. But when that gets filled up, what happens there, Puck?
Well, I mean, I am chaos. So I imagine I would be unleashed. Mm-hmm. And, it might be good and it might be bad, but it will be interesting. That's just, think of it as like a little bucket of my innate power. And then when it fills up, it just tips over. And whatever comes out, who knows?
Last time that happened, it was a red dragon that came out.
So, what if it was a flump? Very friendly one who wanted to be friends with all of us.
What if that flump was the ultimate villain of this entire campaign?
I will try.
Animal companions for all of us.
No more animal companions for everybody. It's too much to manage. Anyways,
say that to his face.
Okay, Sunshine, if you want to play, you got to make a character sheet.
Thank goodness Pointer is not considered an animal. Yes.
Puck, you know as well as I do that I do have a character sheet for Sunshine.
I know you do.
I would like to petition that if we do get animal companions, that Meat gets a tiny little companion called Potato.
Okay, but like Meat...
Then it's Meat and Potatoes.
Like, I know this might be sacrilege, what I'm about to say. I think Meat is an animal companion.
He's a dragon!
All right.
Animal.
Episode 1 and we're already rebelling and trying to get stuff from Puck.
This is fine. I'm used to this. I'm familiar.
Hashtag we want potatoes.
Yeah. Potatoes for everybody. Look, I can promise and keep that. All right. So you guys ready to get back into it?
Yeah.
All right.
Get back. All right, sure. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, we have to, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we'll play D&D. Whatever. All right. So, when last we left our heroes, they were staying at the undisclosed location, the lavish manor of one Governor Rusty Rangland in Light's Watch, the illustrious Saskatoon Trading Company town that exists here in the New Haven Plains. They've been put up as guests and allowed to roam the eccentric governor's home, finding some clues as to what may have caused the onset of his madness. Marric has spent the night helping the governor train fish to carry messages upstream, and V and Chea have been gathering information posted on an unusual conspiracy wall and strewn about on a desk. And Dulcinea and Trafer have been exploring the lower levels, finding their accommodations and seeing that perhaps the governor may have some tragic history to his character. And so, with late night having set in, did you guys have anything else that you wish to do before you head off to bed?
I mean, yeah, if there's nothing else really down here, I think, we'll kind of continue to...
Is there anything worth stealing down here?
Oh no.
Lady Dulcinea!
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? We were suspicious with the thieves' tools. I mean,
You don't know that I did not come straight from the court. You guys know that I have a commoner background.
now we do, for sure.
You know what? Now possibly Trafer does if he notices me stealing shit. Maybe. But the first question stands: is there anything worth stealing down here?
In the banquet room, there's a couple like nice pieces, small statues and items and things.
Anything like useful for stealing though?
Not necessarily. Most of it's just like decorations.
Yeah, I look at them and put them back, and so no, my checkered past remains hidden from everyone
Very well.
Do all of
for the
the
moment.
like decorations and knickknacks and stuff? Do they look pretty like common from the old continent, or is
Yeah,
anything
a lot of
interesting
it's- A lot of it's like old world stuff, with the exception of like the rocks and trees and twigs and branches and stuff. Most of that seems to be from local flora.
All right. Yeah. No, I think we'll
Good.
head back up.
We said there were snacks in the kitchen. I'm gonna want to see what this guy's working with. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's not poison. So
Yeah, no, I think we're safe here for the night.
All right.
Go rustle up.
Yes, Shay?
Chea would have at some point had Pointer help to put the books and things in order on that bookshelf. But separately from that, is there any way during that time, because technically Chea is a high elf, so she can meditate and she's fine. She doesn't need that much sleep. If there was a way to try to figure out, because of the fact that we were kind of mapping out the red rope or the red string and trying to figure out that correlation, if that had anything to do with the winter, like the last light, like trying to figure out and narrow down maybe how much time had passed before each of those major incidents.
Okay. So the major incidents seem to always correlate after last light. And they're over the past 5 years.
5 years. So it was 5 years apart, it seemed?
No, just kind of like winter after winter over the last 5 years.
Got it.
Yeah.
And there was no other similarities with the incident, like the guards post. Was it the same guard post, or was it separate? Like, were they located in different spots?
They were both stationed at the southern shore, looking out into the Ghostlands. So they were on different sides of the gate, but they were both guards at the same gate.
And it was just those two.
Yeah, just those two.
Copy that.
No problem.
So that would basically be, she would just be making notes and obviously recording and making sure that, like, if there was anything that wasn't finished. I don't know if V also too doesn't need that much sleep. I can't remember. But
I totally know everything about my character mechanics, actually.
Okay.
And I'm not looking them up right now.
I'm like, if V went to sleep at any point, Shea's still working on it until basically like falling asleep with a book in her hand, or like the quill where she was like trying to record things and passed out on.
Honestly, probably what happens is, like, in the like regular long rest time period, V would have gone to bed earlier. So like that way they can like wake up and kind of look over what sort of things you'd figured out in the night, and like maybe take the pen out of your hand and like make sure you're okay and like covered up and stuff.
I just picture V like curled up on a stack of papers with one of the papers over.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, if there is no other activities, you guys are able to rest for the night, and a bright morning dawns. And you guys are all, you wake up again, and the governor is kind of making his way through the halls and kind of rouses everybody.
In the morning, Marric is awake early, and he's sort of in the like kind of dining area. All he has is like a coffee, and he's just staring out into the town. Too normal. Yeah, it's just way too normal. They could be anywhere. Could be anyone. Is it you? He says, looking at his own reflection. You've got to tell me if it's you. He starts banging on the window.
I imagine anybody who got up for food finds Merric like this.
So V's for sure an early riser.
And Trafer and V both just kind of walk up behind him.
You good, man?
Yeah, son of a bugbear.
Didn't you say something about being aware of surroundings? You like really hammered in on that.
Look, I'm okay. I just have a lot to process right now. Okay, I think maybe that crazy old guy he's onto something. You know, like I think I understand what he's talking about with the ravens.
Oh,
I would love to know what the ravens mean, actually.
I don't think he's crazy. I think he's like legitimately paranoid. I think something real fucked up happened to his family.
Chea and I were doing some research last night, and I think when she comes down, probably she had like all the books and things, so can better explain it. But there is some merit to what might have caused him to be this way.
I agree, but I don't think it's just paranoia. I think maybe he's onto something. You know, I kind of had this weird feeling, you know, ever since we arrived here, that something wasn't quite right. You know, the folk here, they're almost too normal, you know, almost like if you were to, like, you know, write a survival guide on, like, how to behave as a normal person, right? It's like everyone here's got a copy of that book, and they're just following the motions, you know? Like when I was at the tavern, right? Taverns are filled with drunks and rowdies and adventurers and all this sort of stuff. But you know, when we were there yesterday, what? Not a peep? Not a single kind of like rowdy person? Or even when I went down to the streets, there wasn't even some bum passed out. Or even a homeless guy asking for money. Nothing, right? It was just normal. This guy, what he's saying is that the reason why he acts like he's cuckoo nanas is because there's something out there. And it only acts normal. So if you do something bizarre, they just act normal, and that's how you know it's them.
Okay.
So because when he asked us about the ravens, we said, hey, what the hell are you talking about? Right. We passed the test. Yeah?
Oh, did we figure out the situation with the ravens?
God, just stop, just appear. Okay. Sorry, it's been a long night.
And Chea literally has like approached from behind as that happened, which is not helping the paranoia.
Yep. I've just been, just the bugbears in my head have just been on and off. I did not sleep well last night, but yes, I think the test is to do something bizarre and get a response. Because if you don't respond, then you're just pretending or just being what you think is normal, because that's what you've been told, you know.
Does he or you, like, have any particular individuals that you think are this weird?
Look, the guards at the front entrance, right? They didn't seem to even bat an eyelid that a dragon was pulling our wagon.
I think they see weird shit here all the time.
It's kind of a weird country.
Yeah, there's like monsters and shit all around. You know,
that's what they want you to think.
Oh, you're referring to reverse psychology. Yes, that it's actually one other thing, but you think it's the opposite. It's to basically mess with another person's mind in a way. I don't know if that's the phrase, but
Yeah, like you know, just to kind of cause them to react in a way that's abnormal. Because if they only act normal, they'd be unable to act abnormally.
All right, alternate theory. The guy's been acting a little unusual for a while, and everyone's used to it, so they ignore him.
Well, I don't know anything about psychosis, but me and V did make a discovery upstairs when we were looking, and we found an office, and it was such a sight. There were books everywhere. The notes were just spread about, not in any organized way. It was awful. But I made sure to fix that. That's why I was late coming down. But neither here nor there. To focus. So basically, I do believe that what Trafer is saying, I don't believe that he is in fact cuckoo nana, or whatever that phrase was. He is not. Actually, I think that he was on to something, because he had this whole map and little red threads to try to piece everything together. And when we look through the notes, it seems that there were certain incidents that happened during last light awful things, or very curious things, at 2 specific guard posts. The most recent was the 6th winter, yes, V?
Yes.
With 2 guards who are now at the temple for treatment.
I told you, it's those 2 gods. The guys that it makes sense.
No, it's
No.
completely different guards.
These are different
Different
gods.
gods. Okay.
Yeah, these ones are supposedly driven mad by screaming that no one else could hear.
And both of the posts were facing south towards the Ghostlands, and they started having these, perhaps hallucinations, the things that they heard, as V was mentioning.
Yes, and there were also other reports, people south of the water vanishing from their post while looking north, seeing people who were supposedly dead waving from the other side of the river.
And then there were some specific entries, 5 entries and sketches that of people in white robes, very similar to the one that we saw at the tavern. It's very curious.
I don't know anything about ghosts. We don't have ghosts in Saskatoon, you know that. But was there anything in the notes about, like, some kids or his family, maybe?
There was one about, wasn't there some type of incident where there was a person and a child? And DM, I'm going to ask again because I think that I do remember there was the cries, or either there was a hallucination of seeing them.
There was
disappear.
an incident that somebody saw a family waving at them.
Yeah, but not his family.
Not his.
It's not detailed whose family
Okay.
it was.
Okay. Nothing about his family in particular.
But there was a family.
Could be.
Look, we know that this land has weird phenomenon. Those people all did just disappear. We know the thing about Last Light is true. Other odd things may be true. And we also know it's true that when people lose the people they love, they take drastic measures. I think it is a combination of both the truth and grief.
I believe you're onto something there.
Same.
Well, in any case, I think we should be trying to use those extra weeks that we have to get out of town, and try and make sure that whatever happens to be happening here with the people, the guards, and the men in I'm going to call them the mooks in white.
Well, we should try to investigate what it is that those 2 guards who are currently at the temple, maybe what they saw, and get any information, since we are headed north. We're headed in that, sort of in that direction. I mean, who knows what lies ahead? At least we would be somewhat aware of what to prepare for.
We have some time before we need to head out. Yeah,
Always
no harm
found
in
when,
talking
like,
to people.
When you're investigating magical shit, there's always a kernel of truth surrounded by a bunch of guesses. And so, yeah, if we could kind of sort out what happened to the governor here, or the people close to him, it would probably be very useful before we kind of...
And I'm still curious about these people in white robes.
Yeah,
And what correlation they have with this situation.
They're ceremonial, but I couldn't place where they were from.
We should talk to them more. What's the conversation like? I saw you talking to him earlier. We never really...
He was very proper, borderline on pretentious. With some people, you have to use a customer service voice, and he wanted the customer service voice, and couldn't get much from him, though. He liked fine things, didn't seem to belong out here, and didn't want to go north.
I mean, that last part's understandable.
And yet here we all are.
At this point, Governor Rusty Rangland comes bursting into the kitchen. Ah! Who did you tell? What did you say?
I didn't tell
Excuse me?
anyone.
About what?
What are you referring to?
Oh, God! The Duchess is coming here!
The Duchess?
Akala?
Yes!
Why is this a problem?
She'll be here later this afternoon! I don't know if she's real! She's probably coming to kill me.
She's not. Look, when royal envoys come, they usually want some preparations. They give you warnings so that you can make their situation comfortable here. What did her people say?
She said that the Duchess is coming for a big announcement, and worse yet, she's bringing my boss.
Oh, if they were gonna kill you, they wouldn't tell you they were coming.
He's gonna find out I'm terrible at my job.
That's a valid concern, yeah.
Do you need us here for this, or is this a you thing?
Oh, you gotta stay. They're here to see you.
Do you want us to help with your work evaluation and give I don't know if we could do that in good faith and say that you are doing your job effectively, because I do have questions about whether or not you actually have.
I've met so many people who are doing far worse than you who keep failing upward. You're fine.
I like you more. I want you to do the talking. When Mr. Walpole arrives, could you talk to Mr. Walpole?
Is this just some like really long check? Because I mean, we've passed the test already. I mean,
No.
the Duchess is coming is a bit of a stretch, you know. But
Unless-
you know, the
unless this is a
Baron
check
moves
for
at
you.
midnight.
Are you testing me? This isn't
I
funny.
don't know. Are you testing me?
Governor, what do you need from us?
I just need
Or in
everybody to
general?
say that I'm a good governor.
All right. I mean, I do have relationship with Mr. Walpole. After all, my family does work directly with him. I do too.
Oh, good. All right, you can talk to him again.
The city
mean,
seems
honestly,
safe. He seems like he's doing an okay job. He's just a little traumatized.
I
And
can honestly
honestly,
say
who out
he's-
here isn't?
He's very concerned about security, so that's a good thing. You know,
Well, I'm very concerned. I believe that he may be in need of a vacation. I don't know if he has vacation leave, however.
Seem like the sort who would take it.
That's
Do you
that's
have
what
vacation
I'm not
leave here
sure.
in the Treasured Expanse?
Yeah, we all turn around from our huddle we're having in front
I mean,
of us.
I don't know the last time I saw a government official in the Treasured Expanse get something like dental, but like,
I
I
can't.
don't even have dental.
And
The benefits are actually quite nice.
he like
My
grabs
family
the
can attest to
curtains.
this.
He like grabs the curtains and peers outside. I can't take it. Leaving the house is just what they would want.
Do you? I can help. I know I have some healing abilities. Would you like me to help you calm down?
In what way?
I can just help take some of the anxiety away and help you prep so you can be your better self when the Duchess comes.
Okay,
Okay, and I go
but
over
I'm
to
not
him.
taking anything rectally.
You don't need to take anything. I'm gonna walk over to him
Oh,
and I'm gonna
dear.
mime casting calm emotions. I can't cast calm emotions. I'm lying out my ass. He just needs to believe I'm doing something. I will make a roll for this if you would like it, but
Nah, he just immediately accepts it. I
Great.
can feel your healing energy.
just breathe. You're competent. Your city is thriving. You're doing
Indeed.
something no one else is. You're very brave, and you're doing a good job.
I'm very brave. I am doing a good job. V,
I'll
you
give
get
him
a
some coffee.
tingle at the back of your mind.
Hmm?
And you felt this before. Figurand Kellerby, the CEO of the Caligrant Financial Trust Bank, your boss, is reaching out to you.
Mhm.
And you have to kind of partially slip your mind into the Fae when he calls for you at these moments to speak with him.
Yeah, hold on, I have to take this. And I like step back a little bit and just okay.
So, as you step away, it's almost like kind of like a trance-like state where you slip into the Fae. And Figurant is a very business-like looking magpie-like humanoid. And he has these kind of thick glasses, and he appears to kind of apparate in front of you. V, reports from the field.
Well, this place certainly is interesting. We've made it to the settlement. We've met the governor, and...
Ah.
Are you familiar with him?
Yes, I hear many interesting things about him from Mr. Cartwright.
They're likely all true.
Yes, I imagine so. But I needed to tip you off, my dear V. There's a bit of a problem, and I wanted to give you the heads up.
Oh?
The expedition is leaked. There'll be a rushed announcement in a few hours.
Right.
It was likely one of the other seats. Which brings me to my next point. This expedition is a bit of a diplomatic measure, of course, but also, you're aware of my opinions of the other satchel seats. They're too comfortable, too old, and too secure.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to disrupt their operations at every opportunity you get while in the Expanse.
Oh, I'm sure I can think of a thing or two.
I trust that you won't fail me. You've always been such a good little soldier.
Mm-hmm. I do my best.
All right, V. Best of luck in the field, and good luck with the expedition.
I fear I may need it.
And he fades away as you slip back out of the trance.
Okay, so bad news. The expedition's been leaked. That's why the Duchess is coming. They're going to make the announcement to hopefully get ahead of the rumors, which have probably not spread to the public, but have spread to anyone who matters. No offense to people.
Well,
Leaked.
Well,
Leaked
damn.
how?
Leaked as in other groups may already be moving or will be moving out of this town very shortly.
Oh shit, do you think those two groups that left this morning are getting a jump on us?
Wait, two
How
groups
would they
left
have
this
found
morning?
Or
out?
last night. Sorry, last night. Did you hear it?
Two groups left last night?
Every time somebody leaves, they announce it.
I was talking to some fish.
Yeah, to answer your question,
Alright.
Chea, there are other members of the Golden Satchel. There are lots of interested parties who knew that the expedition was going to be announced, and while we were notified ahead of time, it is very plausible that other people took that same opportunity to ensure their interests were protected.
this
Are we aware of which member exactly?
Not that I know of.
This is fine. This is fine. It just means the competition is a little fairer. I would like to point out that we ourselves were thinking of cheating. And I mean, not even just thinking, we were in fact cheating. It doesn't matter. We're better than them. I say
Except we're
also
right now
lying through my
behind.
teeth.
Well, I wouldn't
We
call
can
it
catch up.
cheating if we were given a direct mission by someone who is in power above us. We're just following orders.
That's still, that's not the good excuse that you think it is.
Okay,
It's still cheating.
no,
It's
I'm a
just
fan of that
government-sanctioned
one.
cheating.
Look. It doesn't matter if we're cheating or we're not cheating or whatever. Either way, we are currently running behind some people. We got the Duchess coming in. We need to decide now. We still gonna go talk to these gods, or are we gonna start making headway? Because
I still think that we should, because if we know what lies ahead, then we can be ahead of everyone else when it comes to facing said obstacles. Yes.
We want to split up again.
Yeah, we're charting a whole continent here, so I don't think a day or two of start time is going to make that much of a difference in the long run. I think what will, to Shea's point, make a big difference is knowing what we're getting into.
And
yeah, look. It's not about being a day or two behind. It's about being behind. That's the big thing.
Sure.
How far is always relevant. If they die ahead of us, then they die. So I think splitting up's a good idea.
What do you think,
whoever-
Dulcinea?
there's two pros to us staying. One is more information, which the other groups don't have. And this is a diplomatic competition. Us staying and playing nice with the Duchess and smiling for the press looks good and we look honorable and we look fair and better than the two teams who left. And so we get more opportunities in the future, even if we do lose, by being fair winners who are good to work with.
Plus, the relic hunters always used to talk about, like, if you're going into a new tomb or something that nobody's been in a very long time, you usually send in the hirelings first, because, like, I don't want to be the first one trudging through the woods, honestly. I want to let them fucking clear out whatever the hell's in there.
Yeah,
and
you look
blow past the corpses.
Look, you say that, but in actual fact, all it means is that they've got the opportunity to set some traps and booby traps for us on the way around to make sure that they don't get followed too closely.
Dude, this isn't like a death sport, all right? We're trying to.
Everything's a death sport in the Treasured Expanse.
And
you go to the creek for some water. It's a death sport.
The governor runs through the room soaking wet, carrying a armful of fish, and throws them out the door. I trusted you!
No, wait! Oh, Simon, Gladys, Eleanor. He just
I
starts
found the
calling
third
up.
benefit of us taking our time. You need a nap. You're no good to us as a tracker if you're tired.
Yes, and maybe a cleric. Yes, a cleric for healing of your mind.
Look, I know what I saw, and I'll prove it one way or another.
Maybe you can prove it by talking to the two guards.
Well, look, I was gonna suggest that I go get the wagon ready and maybe save some fish.
I think you should really go over and see wherever these guards are being taken care of and talk to everybody there a little bit. Just see get the lay of the land.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run outside because I want to save the fish.
They're not welcome in this house anymore.
I'm coming, Simon. Don't you quit on me.
How long before Akala gets here? Do we all have time to go see the prisoners,
it's
or do we need to split up with?
It's gonna be like 2 or 3 hours before she shows up.
We probably don't even have to split then if we're deciding
No,
to stay.
we have time, I think.
Yeah.
Before we head out, though, I'm gonna poke Trafer and kind of like, hey, all the talk of bosses showing up here and like what you said last night about how you can't just say no to your bosses or leave when they tell you questionable things. Look, I know our Empress kind of put me in default charge. You can tell me I'm full of shit if I give you a bad order. You can just leave or say no, okay? Don't feel like you can't question my choices.
I mean, I just assume that you know something I don't, you know?
I don't. Trafer, I couldn't even lift your axe. There's definitely things that you know and can do that I can't.
It's not really a
That's why we have a
knowing
team.
thing. It's just a sort of a brute strength. Yeah, no, all right, yeah. No, if I think something's a bad idea, I'll say so.
Okay. Yeah, don't want you to feel stuck.
Honestly, I don't feel stuck. It's just like you got a job. You got a job to do. You do your job. It's like it's duty, you know.
Is it what you want, though?
I mean, like, it's an honor to be in the position I'm in, you know, to like grow up around a magical family and so much of that sort of stuff. Even if I was never able, but you know, yeah. No, it's great.
Honor doesn't buy bread or make friends or make you happy, though. Just
Well, that's the thing.
Just think about what maybe makes you happy.
Fair enough.
Question DM, would Chea would have seen whether or not one of the, like, if there were any books in that office, if any of them had to do with magic?
There were a couple books about magical theory from the mainland.
Okay, Chea would have taken that book to give to
sure.
Trafer.
Absolutely.
Or keep for Trafer, I should say, since he's talking to Dulcinea.
Absolutely. All right. So if you guys have nothing further, would you like to head off to the temple to see about these guards?
Yeah.
I'm throwing fish in the river.
Yeah, so throwing fish in the river.
Once we figure out where the temple is, then we'll go grab Marric. Like as we're trying to figure out where he's
Yeah,
found,
I
so you
think
have
so.
some more time.
Yeah.
Dead or alive, I'm throwing them in the river.
I hope it'll be okay.
Well, it's different when you have to when you use speak with animal on a creature. You get to know them a little bit, right?
That is true.
You made connections with these fish.
I know.
You spent the whole night together. So you guys eventually make your way out to the temple, and they direct you down into the lower levels into a series of isolated rooms. And the cleric at the temple informs you that this is where the two guards are being kept. They had to be kept far away from everybody in these isolated, deep rooms because they claimed it was the only place that they could get some quiet.
I don't believe I have the savoir-faire to handle a situation like this. I think Dulcinea seems to be able to calm even the most, I don't know how to put this, but someone who's very stressed, extremely stressed to the point of...
Troubled minds.
Yes.
Sure, I continue lying. Yeah, I don't want you guys to know what spells I can cast. Keep you guessing.
I'll go as well, just to hear this out.
I mean, anybody can come. We do not know what we're working with. Yeah,
Well, I'll be there for moral support, and then you see where Chea hits Dulcinea in the back, but it feels like almost like you feel like something hit you, like sand, and you're like, what? But it's her way of basically she casts guidance on you, so now that's her guidance.
What does guidance do?
Yeah.
You get to add 1d4 to, I think, attack rolls, ability checks.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful.
Yeah, ability check of
Just
your
ability
choice.
checks. Yeah. I'm thinking of Bless. Got it mixed up.
All right.
Mhm.
We'll see if I use
I'm
that.
gonna
Okay. Yeah, let's
while
go
they go
down
down
to
there, I want to talk to the clerics here.
All right. We'll do them going down, and then we'll get you talk with the clerics. So you make it down into the room, and the first one is a human gentleman, a bit older, and he is just kind of sitting on the floor with his back against the wall near the corner. As you approach, visitors. What hour is it?
It's about mid-morning. It's not too late in the day.
Not so early for visitors, then.
Do you not
Very
get
well.
do you not get a lot of visitors?
No, few people come to see, but it is fine. It is quieter that way, I believe. I apologize, I don't have proper seating or tea.
No need to apologize.
What can I do for you?
We saw there were reports that you heard screaming, and have you placed yourself here?
No. Well, yes. Yes and no. I came here for help, but they couldn't help me. They couldn't stop the screaming. So, they had a place for me down here. And down here, I can't hear it.
And I am going to cast Detect Thoughts again to get the surface level vibe of what he's saying as we are talking.
And the surface level thought is like a great deal of relief that it can't be heard down here. You get the impression that he just never wants to hear it again.
And you didn't see what made the screaming, just heard it?
Just heard it in the wind, out there in the darkness. Just erupted one night, all at once.
And no one else...
Shrieking madness.
Who else was with you? Just the other guard? Did anyone else besides you two hear it?
Yes, the other guard across the way. He heard it as well. We tried to sound the alarm, tried to tell them that there might be people in danger across the water. Nobody else could hear us. Nobody else could hear what we heard.
And does do his thoughts seem to track with what he's saying?
Yeah, his thoughts are tracking along the same thing, and it's also more of just like, I never want to hear it again. I never want to hear it again.
I am gonna try to probe his brain deeper to see if I can hear it. So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Very well. What does he need to beat?
He needs to beat a 15.
He does not beat it. You probe a little bit deeper. He said, deeper in his thoughts, it's, I never want to hear it again. They're all alive back there. They're alive and they're in pain and they need someone to save them.
He now knows that I can probe in his... Or no, he doesn't, because he failed that. He does not know... No, he does. That's not how that skill works. When you probe deeper, they do know. So he does know. Okay, so that does... Who's they?
The ones who vanished. The ones who didn't come back after first winter.
They're alive.
Who else would be screaming back there?
Do you know this?
It's what he believes.
Yeah, I'll turn to the rest of the group who are down with me. Anything else? That's pretty clear.
Should we ask the other guard, just in case their stories vary?
Yeah, we can try. Did you and your friend ever speak about this to each other?
He doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
Where were you when you heard this?
I was at the post, watching the bridge into the Ghostlands.
So close to town.
Of course. The town's right on the river.
And no one else in town has ever heard this since.
If they have, they hadn't said anything. God help anybody who tries to live with that.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry to dig up bad memories, but this has been very helpful. It could ultimately save people.
Just hope that you never have to hear it.
Yeah, unless anybody else has anything they'd like to ask. I'm out of questions.
All right. So, as you guys depart, and I apologize for rushing you guys off a little bit, the governor, or sorry, not the governor, the Duchess is arriving in town, and almost kind of immediately scoops you guys up with Jace Walpole, as the Duchess makes her way through town, kind of waving at everybody in a fine dress, alongside Jace Walpole, the leader and CEO of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company that operates most of the Saskatoon trade and goods commodities game in the Treasured Expanse. They make their way up to the undisclosed location in the governor's mansion, and they kind of ask you guys all to gather together with them there. And almost immediately, as the doors close behind them, and everybody is inside, Duchess Akala Hisrali, this large, muscular lion woman with this kind of golden mane, just shreds this dress off of herself almost immediately. Says, I can't move in this thing!
All right. Informal meeting, got it.
And like underneath there are like hunter's leathers that she was wearing underneath the dress. And Mr. Jace Walpole is kind of quick to kick the remnants of the dress away, and is just like, Duchess, if you just take the dress off, normally we wouldn't have to purchase new dresses all the time. Just don't make me wear those things, Jace. Just don't make me do it.
Yeah, Jace.
Fuck. Okay. Now, hi everybody. Seems like just yesterday. Ha ha ha.
Hello.
Hi. Good to see you all again. Wish I had good news, but the expedition has leaked.
So we've heard.
You've heard.
that leaked too. The leak didn't leak. These things happen.
Multiple leaks.
Callerby?
We also knew you were coming.
I don't say anything. I just kind of shrug my shoulders.
Of course. So we're gonna make an announcement. We're gonna get everybody together, and then there's just two quick diplomatic things, and you guys will be well stocked to head out on your journey.
What kind of diplomatic things?
Cartwright Grames wants to speak with you. He's arranged a ferry boat to take you from Light's Watch down to Haven's Gate.
All right, won't say no to that. What does he want in return?
He hasn't said exactly what he wants. He's just interested in speaking with you all about the expedition.
Fair.
And for the use of his riverboats, that's valuable trade.
With all due respect, Your Highness, what is he going to be like giving us a distinct advantage? Because if not, we should really get going.
He's promised to give you a riverboat that will take you upwards along the Veiled River and deposit you on the eastern side. You'll have to cross the waterfall, but it'll be much quicker than making your way across the hills.
Right.
So we're not going all the way to Haven's Gate.
Well, you're going to Haven's Gate, but after that, a riverboat will send you up and around again.
Or Haven's Gate.
But isn't that it? Aren't we heading north? Was that the? Sorry, this is Michael speaking. Were we heading north or?
No, we're heading east.
The river
East.
northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Haven's Gate is south by southwest.
Yes, but the river takes you up past Guardian Falls and then deposits you. It's in a horseshoe shape, so it'll take you up and around and deposit you on the other side of the Shrouded Hills.
So we're dipping down to Haven's Gate and then back.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So just a little thing there, and there's a farm community there that the Empress has a particular interest in. Big opportunity. You meet with them. They give you some supplies, a little bit of handshaking, that stuff.
Great.
A nice family, good bunch of kids, great folks. It'll be you'll have a lot of fun. I wouldn't do it in a million years because Jace will put me in a dress again, but it's great for you guys.
Duchess, you can say no. You could just say no to the dress. You can say no. Start a new fashion trend in court. Just wear pants.
That's what I love to do, obviously. And then Chea points down to her khaki pants and her boots, like.
It's a good look, and I respect you for it. Look, I'd love to. I promised Hisui that I would do my best with this Duchess thing. She's my cousin, I gotta...
Yeah.
Family...
Family responsibilities, and you kind of just got to do your duty, right?
I just think you could do your duty in a pair of very fashionable, comfortable pants if you wanted. You just need to find the right tailor.
I certainly agree.
That sounds
I know
lovely.
someone in Saskatoon if you need their information.
Yes, please do. I'll
Start
send
a new fashion
my
trend.
cousin, and
You will be the belle of the court, and Hisui will be so proud that you started a new trend, and so many... Think of all the other women you could free from the burdens of court dress by setting an example and being the first.
Just go to Laurel Couture. They will take care of you. Mm-hmm.
Jace, we picked good with these ones. We did good. You did good with these ones. I like them. And Jace kind of adjusts his glasses and says, "Of course." So in regards to the leak, it was the prince.
Marric.
Yes.
What does he care? Yeah, that means nothing to everyone but me.
No. I am aware of that name too. I was just waiting.
when no one reacts, Marric just does so. Just is like.
Maybe I should have said that. Now I'm going to start saying Chea looked like O-Face.
Why on earth does he care about the contest? He doesn't even do the Empire stuff anymore.
He has decided that this contest is going to be his opportunity for greatness, and has taken it upon himself to set out his own expedition that left a few days before your own.
Who's in his team?
A personal guard regiment plus whoever else he's hired along the way. Also, I've heard word that there was a female goblin from the Scale Lands, a ranger, that he had enlisted for aid.
Where's Marric working out of these days?
I'm not sure. Our last contact with him was at Haven's Gate, and we assumed that that is likely what Mr. Grimes wants to talk with you about.
Okay.
Try not to harm the prince. Although...
That would cause a political disaster if we did.
I'm just going to throw this out here, though. Wouldn't it make things simpler, though, too?
Well, a war would probably break out once again. I'm sure you don't want that, Lady Dulcinea.
Fucking Trafer just fucking left his body. He's openly discussing treason in front of a fucking duchess.
Treason! The prince left!
The prince...
Assaulting a member of the royal family is totally
No, no one said anything about assaulting a member of the royal family. We are all well aware of the risks of what happens when you travel eastward in the Treasured Expanse.
Exactly. We're discussing hypotheticals and accidents.
It is the official position of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company and the governing bodies of Pride's Reach that should the prince just run into a great deal of misfortune upon his expedition and be forced to return home, that would be acceptable for everyone. However, we understand that the wilderness is harsh and terrible, and whatever misfortune may befall one traveling in such wilderness can be quite difficult.
You said they were planning on leaving before us. Are they gone now, or were they planning on leaving before we were supposed to be leaving?
About 4 days beforehand, Mr. Cartwright Grimes had a contact with the prince at his estate. The prince demanded being able to stay the night, and during those accommodations, there was a murder that held him up for another day or two. He has since departed on a river, one of the guards on the Cartwright Grimes estate.
That's all right. Just leave that there.
And you don't know where the prince has gone since then.
We assume that he is heading to the northeast in hopes of establishing better connections. Mr. Graham said he offered him a boat that took him to Guardian Falls, and he's lost touch with him since then.
Well, if you happen to hear anything, I think I can get the prince on our side. No accidents at all, I promise. If you can get him...
And no civil war. We don't need
Absolutely
that.
not. I guarantee that is not plan A or B or C. It might be about plan H. If you can get
There's a plan
information on
H?
that and send it to me. If you can't reach me, you can reach me via Renarius Boulder Shoulder.
Of course.
Trust you know how to find him.
Yes, Mr.
So-
Boulder Shoulder is working his way through the Shrouded Hills, I understand, with the rest of his troop.
Interesting. All right. Well, this is a thorn in our side that I think can be turned to our benefit.
Of course. Now, are we all ready to get together for this announcement?
Marric, as Marric nods along, not following any of the political intrigue that's happening here, he's sitting here thinking like they're talking about, dealing with princes and the royal family, the rise and fall of kingdoms, and Maric's in the back of his mind saying, "This will mean nothing if they get killed by a boar on the way in." I mean, they slip and fall down a cliff. Not even a big cliff, like a medium-sized cliff. These guys are dead. So Maric's just like, yep.
And there is a large gathering at the town square. Akala argues viciously with Jace Walpole to not have to wear the dress, and at some points the claws and the fangs come out of this lion woman, and Jace inevitably backs off because, Akala Hisrali was a fierce ranger during the war, so she's not somebody you want to get into a fight with. So eventually Jace backs off, and Akala decides to give the speech in her hunter's leathers for the first time. And she gathers you all up on stage.
Chea is going to be so far back, hiding herself, because she absolutely hates the idea of public speaking, of any type of like pomp and circumstance. So she's just like, and then she's trying to like put her head down. So you just see where she's like shrinking behind. Probably, I'm assuming that Trafer is the tallest of the group.
Probably be.
Brave people, Akala steps up. Brave people of the Treasured Expanse. In the years since we have come to this place from all empires, we have tamed what we can of this land. But there is still much work to be done. So, as a point of unity, the leaders of all the empires have gathered together and put forward a contest. You may embark on an expedition to discover what lurks on the northeastern coast of the Treasured Expanse. This is your chance to make your mark on history and explore this unexplored land. And in exchange, we offer up the first group to succeed in this task. A special offering of exclusive land rights, plus a generous stipend from all 4 of the great empires to establish a new settlement of their own design. We open this up to everyone, and we have our own team as well, which I assure you will be moving in fairness and in good sportsmanship along with everyone else. Leading that team, we have a regular in our court, Lady Dulcinea.
Properly to the royal wave.
Joined by a member of the Royal Reliquary, Mr. Trafer Grok.
I'm totally competent. We're just finding out about this today, too. Like, this is crazy, right?
Every time Trafer moves, like she's trying to follow the arms and duck. Like that's exactly what she's doing right now.
Company Faye for the illustrious Calagrant Bank and Trust. V. Independent Scale Lands Ranger, Merric. And of course, and she like frustratingly pulls out Chea, child prodigy of the great Lilith, Chea, also joining them.
Shea's not here.
May the best team win, and good luck to all of those embarking on this noble quest. And a cheer rises up from the crowd. And the expedition,
Great speech. I loved it.
the race, has begun. And we'll stop there tonight.
Yay!
Woo! First episode.
Yay!
We did it, everybody!
We did it.
Well, that's the show, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you guys so much for joining me and playing with us.
Yay!
Tune in next week for more of this. Tune in for Wednesday for another show. Brand new series starting up of Those Lost, another spooky adventuring series, and come back next week to see the continuing adventures of our team as they embark on their expedition in the Treasured Expanse. Thank you to everybody's support. Thank you to people who donate. Thank you for likes, follows, subscribes, and shares. We can't make the show without you guys, so you guys make it happen. We thank you so much. And until next time, everybody, beware of last light.
It's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D. We all agreed to play some D&D. That means role-playing, fighting and slaying, solving puzzles, maybe it's just me. But you guys won't.
No, we won't.
You guys just don't.
No, we don't.
Follow a single plotline through and through. I'm not complaining, but instead of gaming, you found the weirdest other things to do. There was adventure, but you guys wouldn't venture. Instead you said the mountains looked real nice. Middle of winter, you went to the hinter, lands of permafrost and frozen ice. You hid from every danger, you wizard, rogue, and ranger, and found the perfect alley for your quest. In the lands of no man, you guys built a snowman and said that this adventure was the best. It's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D. We all agreed to play some D&D. That means role-playing, fighting and slaying, solving puzzles, maybe it's just me. But you guys won't?
No, we won't.
You guys just don't?
No, we don't.
Follow a single plotline through and through. I'm not complaining, but instead of gaming, you found the weirdest other things to do. You made it to a town with intrigue all around. There were 14 detailed NPCs you